and as authorized by 1996 PA 220, as both may be amended. Is this where there's change?
Well, it does say eligible employees, which he's going to be named.
It does say employees, but above it says employee contribution. I hereby certify that the above is a true copy of the defined contribution resolution adopted at the final meeting held by the governing body of this municipality, dated and signature authorized, printed name. This resolution shall have no legal effect under the MERS plan document until a certified copy of this resolution is filed with MERS. MERS determines that all necessary requirements under the plan document. The adoption agreement and this resolution have been met, and MERS certifies the resolution below. Received and approved by Municipal Employees Retirement Systems of Michigan.
So they want both of these in order to transfer the chief over to you.
Yeah, I talked to both ladies, and they both need a resolution for the chief to go. One to let him go,
That's this
and
one.
one to accept him.
Just the plural that they use on this specific
Yes.
form is what I do not like.
For eligible employees. And
Because
there's
that
a-
would
But he's the only eligible employee. per
Yeah, we're naming him
Hancock
eligible.
Yeah, we
transfer.
should just be very careful in our verbiage. I
Well,
think, just to be
technically,
sure.
according to MERS, we were all eligible.
Well, if you read the second page, it
Yeah.
says employee name, Clockland Township.
That's you,
Division
specific.
name, fire chief. That takes
I-
all of these
Yeah,
out.
and there is a whole packet
Unless you all
that
wanna
is
do
filled out
fire
by the
chief,
clerk
I'll
and
gladly
chief,
let his hat
No.
Charles.
We can do that.
There's a whole packet that's filled out just for chief.
Yeah.
That'll go
no,
through and Brian
I'm
will
in
help
full
them.
agreement that the
Yeah.
chief
Yeah.
can move us back.
Motion
I don't-
to approve MERS resolution
Second.
for the fire chief.
Roll call vote. Waldee.
Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
Eddie, yes. Shane,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
And Brian, I'll get you these. They were in my box.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you.
I'll get to it next month.
That's another month. It's a little bit of a year.
I'll get to it.
It's an patient man.
When?
Tuesdays.
Roads 2026. This is just a list of all the worst roads there was in the township called Whalen. These are just preliminary numbers that were provided to you all in an email from Matt Schultz. I forwarded you guys. These will go out for estimates. These are just the road commission estimates. These aren't the contractors. So these would be like, let's say, 4 or 5 year plan to, you know.
Are they in a
pick and
specific
choose.
order, or you pick and choose?
I will tell you that it's been boisterous that Seidler Road is the worst road we have in all of Whalen Township, between 7 and 8 Mile, and Beaver Township is actually doing, between 7 Mile, or no, not between 8 Mile and 9 Mile this year. So it just made sense that, we got that one on the docket to bring to the board to see if that ranked at one of the top positions. One of the other ones that I feel is important is some people were left alone in Linwood, the Ernest Street. It isn't a lot of money, but we didn't mean to forget that Ernest Street when we did everything. It came out to, I believe, just over $18,000. There is another section, I know Charlie has mentioned, and it goes south to the old folks home. There is other things that has to be done there with the county if we were to do that, because of a culvert that Boudry would have to
Danny already
drop.
said he'll take care of that. We just gotta tell him when they're looking at doing it. He'll get the new culvert put in. When he came in to pay his taxes, he made that crystal clear. You know, he had some things on his plate. He couldn't get to it last year, and we didn't get to telling him when we'd pay it either.
So there is a good amount of,
So we got a couple we can figure out, put ahead of the list.
in Parish Brook, Mr. Corey, all of them, that would be a special assessment that would go on 7 different property owners of Parish Brook. It's been a very long time issue for all of those, but it would be something that it's gonna take a lot more figuring. I do have surveyor estimates because all of these 7 residences have to deed the road to the road commission when this is over. And they will still be on the hook to pay the township whatever the costs are for the surveys and for the paving. And I'm just waiting from the road commission to see if there's any ditching that needs to be done, because some of these homes filled in the ditches in front of their houses. So, per the specs that I received from D&M site plan out of Saginaw, they did show that it's in compliance with what the road commission could take over, but it has to go back to the original dimensions and everything. And it's pulverized back then. It's a very bad situation.
Are they all on board, the 7 people?
Yeah, they've actually signed. I think Laurie and Charlie were here, and all the members there came in with a signed petition in support of doing this. Is that correct? I haven't seen it, but
I thought,
There was one person that might have been questionable as to the dollar amount, because nobody knew the exact dollar amount that would go on each parcel. But the one neighbor said if I had to, I'd pay it, just because if they don't get that done, then front of my house can't get done.
yeah, I know it's been favorable to all of them that I have talked to, but that wouldn't. I don't know if that would be something that we would put towards our township budget for roads for the year. I think that would be, because it's a special assessment, it's something different, but that's something the board needs to agree on.
That'd be something that had to be written up by a lawyer for the special assessment.
no, it's
Yeah.
a similar process.
Yeah,
We
legal.
already did.
It's a notice
Okay.
process.
So would we make a
Because we have
motion to
to-
start that process, or what would that look
We
like?
probably would have to, because we'd have to hold
We have to
hearing,
price it.
you know, we'd have to hold hearings, then once it's all said and done, post it in the journal.
But we have to
So-
have a set amount first, and we have to figure
Yeah.
out how far it can be floated. There's also some options, rather than it coming out directly from our budget, there are some other options we could potentially look at. I mean, it's a bigger process, but that said, since you're working on the budget, are you planning to come up with like a 3-year plan for roads?
Correct.
Okay, so there's nothing that we need to vote on at this time, because we're gonna have to put it
I
into a
have
3-year
to
plan.
have things to the road commission by March 2nd for any paving. That does not mean chip and seal. It does not mean, this is just so that they can get us estimates that'll be.
For redoing these
For
roads.
redoing these roads.
So do you have a list in mind already?
Well,
Or
like I
is it
said,
3
Seidler Road was a pretty expensive one.
But I mean, is that the 3, or is there gonna be more we should add in the?
I think that there should be more.
Okay.
I mean, last year we operated off a $280,000 road budget. You know, and I think we did amazing as a board with what we chose to do. I think we had a tremendous amount of community support in what we got accomplished.
So
But even chip and seal, I mean, you guys can tell me what you feel and stuff. We have time with chip and
Did
seal.
they bring a
It's
rough
just-
estimate, and we can?
These are the rough
Okay.
estimates that I emailed you guys. So, I can tell you is this, there's plenty of roads, but when we get Linwood Beach project done, I think like next year, it's a county road, but we need to push the road commission to do Bowtel to the beach, and then possibly we take care of even Linwood Beach. But some of these, most all of these roads that are in this packet are in the red zone. They're the worst roads that we have in the entire township. A Seidler Road would be the worst. I mean.
But you don't foresee us be able to do them all this year?
No.
Yeah.
No. This was just so that
Yeah,
everybody
I get
knew.
you. I just don't know.
This
We
could
did a
be
lot last year. I didn't know if it was
5-year
gonna-
plan. It
Yeah.
can be.
So how many of the worst roads are you looking to do next year, or in FY '26?
This year, I would say that we probably have only one other major road that's possible with our budget.
And-
So about, if we did Seidler, let's say that we picked one other one, that would be our only other
So we can possibly
Seidler,
push.
if I remember right, Seidler was, what, 160 or 180?
160.
And what was the next most expensive?
What was the one that got missed in Linwood? That was 18.
Ernest
That's
is
18.
So we could sneak that in, and then that would be
like
complete.
Bowtel between, I believe this is about 105,000 for Bowtel.
So that's up right
We
there.
have Cottage Grove, 135.
So if we take the three you just mentioned, we're looking at,
We have River Road at 134.
River is
Really bad.
we're looking at 278.
We have Wetters also on 134.
Yeah, with the first three
I
though.
think that's something we're gonna have to do a 3 to 5 year plan on.
No,
Yeah, we'd have to.
no,
There's
and
too many
That's
of them.
never been a thought
But-
not to. It's
Yeah.
just, if you're looking at a 3 to 4 year plan, the 3 to 5 year plan, you still have to know what they're gonna be. So I
Right.
gave them every red road we
Okay,
had.
Well, my point is that if the budget last year was $250,000, 280, if we do the first three roads that he mentioned, we're at $278,000. We're matching the budget from last year, and we took out 3 of the worst roads, is that safe?
Correct. Well, 2.
2 of the worst roads,
Two
one that,
unfinished Linwood.
and one is a finished project, and that only puts it at $278,000 plus or minus.
right.
And we'll probably get 30,000 of state revenue sharing.
And that puts us underneath our budget from what we spent last year, so
Right.
it's kind of a no-brainer.
And those are all paving, we're not,
These
that's
are
not chip
paving,
and
yeah,
seal, they're
this is
actual
not chip
paving.
and seal.
So,
The chip and seal projects, we can get into, next month. They just got their prices for the chip and seal locked in for the year. I think everything went up 6% from last year.
I don't think we have any that are currently in the chip and seal process. I think we finished all those up.
Yeah.
So, because that's, kind of a multi-year stage process as well,
Correct.
so. Okay,
But I think that if we chose, let's say 4 roads that were close, had them get the estimates, and then we chose at the next meeting which ones we were gonna follow through with.
I like that. So what's the fourth one you want to add?
I would,
You've been out on
I
them.
would say River, like Charlie was just.
River,
bad.
if you go down River, it's actually has tire trail right down the center of the road.
So let's add River to that, and then we'll shoot.
How
It's
much is
bad.
that?
River was 134.
34?
And last year, Brian, we had some estimates.
So we're looking
that-
at 312,000.
But we had some estimates that came in less.
412,000. This is a rough estimate,
Yeah.
if we do all of it.
Is there a motion we made tonight on it? Come up with the 4 roads and
Just
get
to-
the pricing.
just to get the price.
What road did you have? I don't have.
I've got one for 160, which
Yep.
is slush.
Then we got
So River, Cider, Ernest.
Ernest, they put it, how much was Ernest?
105.
No, Ernest was 18,000.
So Fifth Street was 815.
What was the
Fifth
105?
Fifth Street we didn't get.
Fifth Street's the one that goes back
had
to
one
the
that was
16
105.
apartments, that's
You had one that was
100%
105,000.
pothole. 16 residents live on that piece, that little piece.
Bowtel. Bowtel.
And put Fifth Street on there too. Get the pricing, please.
And Charlie, how far do you want Fifth Street to go?
Fifth
Because I
Street
know they're
goes,
gonna ask.
Fifth Street goes from, this guy that runs along there to where the curb cut is to go into the apartment place, and that's where we stop. We stop at the curb cut.
Might be 100 feet long.
It's not that long.
From the culvert to the curb stop to the dead end of the road, maybe.
I think the problem was they stopped right there. at the
That might be
street, so
cheaper
we
like
got that
Ernest,
worse
would you
than
think?
Well, they stopped at the culvert, so they shut the culvert down.
Yeah.
Fifth Street again.
Fifth Street
Even road.
wasn't big, but I can get them to do that. No
That's
problem.
why they include the culvert, everyone past the culvert.
Okay, a motion to get estimates
Howard
for,
Arms.
and I'm gonna put Parish Brook in there for an estimate too, is that fine for the special assessment?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a total of 6 roads. I'm gonna make a motion for Bowtel, River, Seidler, Ernest, Fifth Street, and Parish Brook to get estimates from the Bay County Road Commission.
I will second.
Roll call, DeShano,
Yes.
Waldee,
Yes.
Whalen,
Yes.
Eddie, yes, Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, Mike Torka, Michigan Agriculture and Rural Development. This is a PA 116. Looks like they changed paperwork since the last ones were approved.
They
Much
did.
better.
Yeah, he had to go back and fill his paperwork out. Basically, he wants to move, Torca wants to move his land into a trust. And he has a very, very extensive file of everything that, it's very, very, very thorough of everything that he's supplied us. If anybody wants to take a look at it, you're more than welcome to,
I spoke to him today. Sounds pretty legit.
but part of the process is we have to have board approval to move it, so I can include it in the notes before I can sign it, then it has to go to the assessor where he has to do his documentation on it, and then I sign it again, and then it gets shipped off to the correct people.
I'll make a motion to pass Michael Torca's and Laurie Torca their PA 116.
Second.
Roll call, Whalen,
Yes.
Waldee,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
DeShano,
Yes.
Eddie, yes. Amend agenda resolution.
Oh, yes. I'd like to amend the agenda resolution and remove trustee Whalen and put in clerk Waldee.
I'll second that.
Thanks.
Hey,
I know. it's my-
What?
your name.
Yeah, that's a motion. He seconded.
Least the Army can do is give it up to you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, I-
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Okay, we have data center, move forward with data center, moratorium.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So that's just directing the development of a resolution.
Of a
for the next
resolution
meeting, right?
for the planning commission.
Or, is this something that we're going to have
You
Lapham?
guys make that decision, Brian.
Okay,
According to the bylaws, you, as the board of trustees.
but the planning commission is recommending we go.
We recommend it.
Lansing would actually give us what they believe is the proper resolution. So we would actually approve Lapham to create the resolution
For the board.
for us to then approve at our
Okay.
next meeting regarding,
I'll make a motion to have Lapham and Associates create the data center moratorium
resolution.
resolution for the next meeting.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I think you might want, because there's money involved, roll call.
Roll call, DeShano,
Yes.
Eddie, yes, Waldee,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
Planning Commission Board Member Appointment. I looked at the bylaws and I see no reason I cannot sit on the Planning Commission. And
I was actually told by a lawyer that that's in conflict with the direction of the development of the township.
was it the township's lawyer?
Well, no, because you can't call the township's lawyer. It's a lawyer I
He was
paid
here.
to go and ask questions. And that was, when I was on the planning commission, it was made clear that Sam could not sit on the planning commission.
Our zoning administrator, the multiple townships along with our planner, stated there are several townships that township supervisor is on the board.
I'm just telling you what I,
Is anybody else on the board willing to be the board representative?
We had called the fire chief from his home to come and open the building. Of course, the last board.
I don't know why keys were not
The
given
key
to
wasn't
the chairs.
distributed,
I have no
that's
idea
not-
why.
the
It should have been.
chair of the board should have had it.
Yes.
That's,
I will do it if you recommend me.
You're on the ZBA.
I would be the link then. Isn't there supposed to be a link?
Can't go vote.
It was before the
Yeah.
rule
Yeah.
was wrong.
Planning commission has to have a rep, right? And the board has to have a rep.
Maybe when he's not here, I guess we can ask at the next meeting, but he has to, if anything, say it's okay. Ready. So want to table it till next month when the lawyer's here?
In 2 weeks.
Yes, in 2 weeks.
So motion to table.
Motion to table so we can get clarification.
I'll second that.
Voting bags.
It's for the ballots. They have to be a certain kind of bag. They have to meet certain parameters, and they have to be inspected by the state of Michigan voting people. We have 2 that we'll be using in May, and then the rest of our bags are full. Each township is responsible, each voting district is responsible for their own voting bags. My recommendation is we buy, was it 10 or 12? 12. Because that will carry us through the rest of the year. And then when they finally say we can go ahead and remove the ballots from the current bags that we have ballots in, we can put them in other storage containers, seal them up, and then we can reuse the bags until they have to be re-inspected. However, until they say we can do that, they have to sit in these bags.
I'll make the motion to purchase the ballot bags up to $800.
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
Roll call. Waldee.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Eddie, yes. DeShano.
Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
Pay bills.
My favorite time of the meeting. Actually, the only one that is not listed on here was a bill that came in after I printed this out. I did not want to spend the 15 sheets of paper to reprint it. It was a $250 bill that came in. I just didn't put it on. It's in the system, I just did not put it on this sheet. If anybody wants to look at it, it's in my little pile here. And as anybody can tell, it was a light week for us. So the actual total is $12,510 or $14 and some change. And for us, that's a light 2-week time frame.
Those are caught up. Thank you. I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second. Roll call. Whalen.
Yes.
Waldee.
Yes.
DeShano.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Eddie, yes. Public comment.
Hi there. Charles, thanks for letting us know about the Menards location and the tax exempt. I was wondering if there's any other locations where the township has anything on file where we could go and purchase any of our items for the Parks and Recs Committee?
That's the only one that I know we got all the way through, and because of what they offer, because they offer all the candies and things like that,
Right, right.
and because of their bulk, but
CNR True Hardware's on there if you needed like wine or something, right?
I was just looking at, we had priced out the candy and stuff, trying to make things as affordable as possible, so I didn't know if like we'd done to Walmart or anything like that.
Walmart's a real big process to get through.
Yeah.
But if you can get through it, it's good, indefinitely.
Okay,
And the other place you might try is Ollie's.
right.
Sam's Club was the best pricing for bulk candy.
Yeah.
Do we have one there?
No,
No, we
that's
discussed
something.
it, but it hasn't gotten
That's
off
something
the
that
ground.
Laurie and I have been talking about doing, is getting a business account through Sam's with the township as the holder. That way we'd have the tax-free exempt for Sam's.
Sherry did order a shelf from Sam's.
So she ordered it on her personal
Did she?
account. Yeah.
So if we can work on it this week, we'll get a Sam's
Yeah.
Club up and running.
The previous Easter was all purchased at Menards,
Sam's Club.
but we don't have a tax exemption there.
We did not, but it's candy, so it doesn't rise to the same level for taxation, so you might be okay on that, right?
Wasn't what
Usually
the
tax
email
exempt,
said.
tax exempt is on everything.
No, but usually you don't have tax on food items.
No, no tax on
That's
food.
what.
But like an Easter basket or something
Right.
like that, it's going to
That's
have
a
tax
little
on
bit
it, so,
different.
or
It's
any of
gonna
the
be six of
material
one, half dozen of the other. It
supplies.
just depends on how
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
plays out.
I
I'd
just
love
want
to be
to
able to
spend
give
the
you.
money wisely, so.
The Sam's Club was the best bang for your buck.
Well, yeah, if we
Size,
could
yeah.
apply for it, that would be great.
You sure Brian can look into it this week?
Well, it's just a form that comes out of the clerk's office for it, that you can turn in, we just don't, haven't done the process there, if there was anything outside of candy.
Well, it would be tax exempt for
All
No, I mean, I
purchases.
get that,
Yeah.
but they're.
Oh, no, I understand what they're looking for,
So I think they
yeah,
can get candy
it's something-
without tax, whether we
it's-
have the exempt or not, is my point.
I'll have to get in touch with the Walmart and,
Okay.
yeah.
And then my other question was around the, you mentioned a fireworks subscription earlier. I was hoping to
It's,
get more
it's the
details on that.
It's the fire, it's nothing to do with fireworks.
It's not
no,
anything towards the
nothing.
things we've already talked about.
boom.
Okay, all right.
Paperwork though. If you're interested, I
Thanks.
can show you how it all works.
Good clarification.
Lots of paperwork
Okay.
right there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Public comment.
Jeremy Bloom, 2110 Frazier. To match the fire department's $100 donation to the Parks Committee, do we write a check to the township or to the
Has
Parks?
to be to the
Okay, the Bloom Venix family will match the fire department's $100 donation for the East Grade Hall.
Thank you.
He said it should have said 500.
We have our own association that I give money out.
Public
I have
comment.
one stuff here.
Brad Eddy, 1890 South Huron Road. To do with the planning commission appointment. The planning commission appointment is something that is the privilege of the supervisor to recommend. I did not make any recommendation for Brian Whalen for that position. I did not make that recommendation. I made that recommendation for me to go to that. So the diverting of it made no sense. The planning commission needs another member. Matt Woods has made that clear. It needs another member. Just making sure that everybody knows the powers that have been stripped from me to bringing up ethical issues within this township is wrong. And making sure that everybody knows truth will be told, truth is being told, but there's nothing I've done wrong. And when it comes to legal has skyrocketed since the transparency resolution came into play. I'm just making sure that everybody knows, why would you keep the supervisor from the planning commission? It's about control. That's what it's about. And sooner or later, somebody should let their balls out of the treasurer's purse.
Well, I'd like Charles Campbell, 525 South
One
Huron.
second, Harold, he's not done.
So, I'm sick of seeing what happens in this township on a daily basis. The door gets shut in her office and people go in there and they're quiet as can be. You know, just don't let the supervisor know anything. This may as well be an empty chair. If you can tell me anything I've done wrong, I'm open ears other than bringing out what I don't think is ethically correct. And go ahead.
You know, when you speak about the planning commission, I remember the appointments that took place back in 2020, 21. And at that time, I was told by the MTA, it had been Melissa, and Sam could not sit on that board. He was the supervisor. And that's what Catherine said, that the supervisor was not allowed to direct the township. And so I ended up going on that board at that time and being on that board for 5 years until I had some health issues last year. So when you say you don't understand why, it's supposed to be so that the greater, the trustees of the board, because when it came to the supervisor, he's the one that's making the appointments.
The board's approving the appointments.
I'm just telling you, that's what I was told by the MTA. Were we addressing this firefighter too tonight?
No.
Oh,
No, it's all set.
We're done. That was confusion on the fire chief's part.
I'm just asking because it's a piece of paper that was given out in reference to.
Public comment.
Brian Whalen, 911 Fraser Road. The fact that you've taken away every individual's right at this table to make independent, free-thinking decisions is the fact that you're in the position you are. You just implied I can't independently think from Laurie DeShano. You implied that Charles can't independently think from Laurie DeShano. And you implied that Brian Waldee can't independently think other than Laurie DeShano. And you wonder why people aren't willing to work with you. You closed the door on everybody. Everybody. And you have the audacity to treat me like I'm not intelligent?
I never said
Bravo, buddy.
intelligent.
Bravo, buddy. Keep digging your own hole. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should be. Using 2 municipalities to run your office. Yeah.
Why
That's
don't you just show
ethical.
up for work one day? That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Why don't you just tell me? When I come in and tell you how sick I am, what do you tell me?
I tell you to go home. I tell you to go home because you're sick. You think I want to be sick? You think anybody in this office wants to be sick?
So I don't show up for work, eh?
What time did you leave today? What time did you leave yesterday? Or
I wasn't even
Thursday?
supposed to be here because of my doctor telling me not to come till Tuesday.
Let's look at the cameras and find out what time you leave on the average day.
Camera boy, good when he started and all.
Let's find out what time you leave every day, buddy. Let's find out what time you show up and what time you leave. I guarantee you my hours will beat yours any day of the week and twice on Sunday. Please, let's go down this path.
Let's go. You're the highest paying deputy treasurer ever. There's never been one who's ever even put in the hours you did during a non-tax time.
And I did my job.
Yeah, you got some cameras going so they can watch everybody.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You need to grow up.
Yeah.
Claim the victim and grow up.
That's for, I'll give it to him.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Did you ever find those planning commission books?